Hi friends, Adam Kirtley here, the chaplain at Whitman College. I hope this message finds you well. Um, what a couple of amazing weeks it's been in terms of everything that's happening in the world. I suspect that still the most pressing news story is the infection of Donald Trump with COVID-19. And I was really sort of reflecting on all of the responses that I was seeing on social media and in conversations with friends. There seemed to be sort of a divide where either folks were wishing him well or the opposite of that, and there wasn't much a path, or at least. I was interested in exploring the sort of a path and a middle ground related to that, and as I was doing so, I was reminded of the fact that when I was in seminary, part of my job for a while was to serve as a hospital chaplain, and I would go into to rooms and sit with patients whose stories I didn't know, and I'd ask for them if they wanted to talk with me to talk with me a little bit about not just what brought them to the hospital, but who they were. And even still, of course, I couldn't really put together a full picture in a hospital visit like that. But I remember coming to this concern that I had when it came time to pray, if they asked me to pray for them, in terms of whether or not I was going to pray for healing. I don't necessarily, as if you watched a couple weeks ago, I have a complicated relationship to what we call intercessory prayer. That is the extent to which, based upon my requests, that God would intervene in our lives in a particular sort of way. I also didn't know, of course, if they were in the hospital at times, facing a terminal illness. Maybe praying for healing would have seemed tone deaf to their situation. And so I found that I often would offer prayers and wishes, not necessarily for healing, but for wholeness. And to me, that broader sense involves being made whole, involves being released from potentially from physical brokenness, but maybe also from fear or anxiety or concern about being enough, or the insecurities that we carry in our life, or being freed from the sense in which we feel like we've got to be able to control all outcomes for all things. To me, that's a bit of what wholeness looks like, and so to that extent, that certainly is the prayer that I would extend for Donald Trump. Not necessarily, not specifically related to a healing from his virus, but being made whole in terms of how he feels about himself and the world. And it's a prayer that I can easily extend to everyone, wherever they place themselves on the political spectrum, for sure. So those are my thoughts and wishes for you, for this community at Whitman College, as we enter into this very sort of broken and contentious chapter of our society leading up to this election that's less than a month away. May we all be made whole, so that we can move through this world and our interactions with others with a sense of decency and respect, and recognizing of our common humanity. I think that's folded in to our wholeness. So those are my thoughts and wishes for you this week. And until we chat next, I hope you take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll look forward to seeing you around soon.